Welcome to Rada Cesaris of Words for Writers. Today we're going to go ahead and do, words 26 all the way to 30. Let's get this started with. We have a super word today, so let's get this started with really quickly. Our first word is behave. And when so behave, you obviously know that it's a verb. It just basically means you're listening to your mother or someone who's giving you orders, or you're just listening to rules. Alright, here we go. This adjective is inveterate. Inveterate. This just basically means you are never changing. Something is never changing, and since you're never changing, well, it kind of sucks for you, I guess. And that was the only adjective here. Let's go on with some nouns. Okay, firstly, let's go with demeanor. Now, demeanor, here, it basically means it's an outward conduct. You're doing something that's outward, and you have some conduct. Next, you have habitude. Now, habitude basically means you have some customary behavior or something about that sort. Then we have portents, and portents basically means you're conducting something. And since you're conducting that thing, well, that means you're behaving. It's like conduct. It's a good conduct. Like, conduct is like your actions are normal. Then we have praxis, and praxis basically means it's a custom. It's like something that you do. It's like a norm here. And then we have propriety. Now, propriety here basically means you're going ahead, you're behaving something properly. Now it's time for the verbs. Here we have acquit. Now, acquit basically means you're going ahead and you're behaving according towards a personal favor. Those kinds of things. Next up, we have bestir. Now, bestir basically means you're going ahead, you're rousing someone to action. Then we have comport, and comport basically means you're conducting yourself. You're conducting oneself. Next up, you have discharge. Now, discharge basically means you're fulfilling a duty. And the only antonym for behave is dysfunctional, which just basically means you're not going to be able to function properly. This is the super word, belief. Belief has a lot of things here, so I'm just going to go ahead and list through all of them. Alright, so the adjectives here we have existential, which just basically means you don't believe that humans that we're free from existence, that we make our own choices. Then we have implausible, which just basically means it's kind of difficult to believe. You're having a difficult time believing that something is possible. Then you have monistic. Now, monistic basically means it's like explainable by one principle. Something's explainable. Then we have orthodox, which just basically means that something is conventional. We have staunch, and that basically means you have a firm belief in something. Syncretistic, that just basically means you're explainable with all principles or something. You're being able to explain them all. And then you have teleological, which just basically means you believe that things exist for a purpose. Now, the nouns here are agonistic. Agonistic basically means you don't believe that anyone can understand the laws of, like, the nature of people, nature of things. Then you have determinism, which just basically means you're going ahead, something is fate-induced in the world. Something is fate-induced. You have ethos, which just basically means you have the core principles of something. You have core principles. And you have humanism, which just basically means you believe that humans are the best species in the entire earth. Hypothesis just basically means it's like a guess, a scientific, educated guess. And iconoclast is like the icon of something. When the iconoclast of Christianity is Jesus. Then we have ideologue, and ideologue basically means it adheres to a closed mind. Then we have martyrdom, and martyrdom basically means you killed something as a martyr. You're a martyr now. Then we have mores, and mores basically means you have some accepted norms of something. Then you have nihilism, and nihilism basically means you believe that life is meaningless. And then we have pragmatic, which just basically means your using actions are supposed to be based on knowledge. We have predestination, which just basically means you believe that everything is predetermined by fate, that you have no control over your life. We have solipsism, and solipsism basically means your experiences you believe that is also affected by knowledge. Tabula rasa basically means you're going ahead, you're having a clean slate or something. I hate these like foreign words. And then we have Taoism, which is just Chinese philosophy created by this guy named Tao, and it just basically means you have to go with the flow, the way of life. Then we have tenet, and tenet is like the core belief of something that makes something. And we have this German word called Weltschmerz, which is basically means have sorrow in your life. Then we have Zilog, which just basically means you're a true believer in someone or something. And then we have Zeitgeist, and Zeitgeist basically means you have the beliefs of a certain generation or period of time. We have apostasy, and this basically means you have the act of abandoning belief. You're abandoning something that's normal, like say Bloxburg is the best game on Roblox. Next up we have dubiety, and this is basically means you're in the state of doubt. You're in a state of doubt. Well, actually, those last two are antonyms of belief. Alright, next up we have best. Here we have efflorescent. Now, efflorescent, it is an adjective, and it just basically means you have reached the final stage of development of something. Then we have ephemeral, and this just basically means you're going ahead and you are elevated towards something. You're elevated. Then we have maximal, which is basically means you're at the best time of your life. You're at the upper limit of something. Then we have non-pareal, and this is basically means you're going ahead and you are without an equal. You're without equal of someone or something. Then we have optimum, and optimum basically means you are in the most favorable position ever. Next up, we have paramount, and paramount basically means you are superior of someone in every kind of way. Then we have peerless, and peerless is basically means you don't have peers, you don't have an equal anyone at all. Then we have quintessential, and this is basically means it's the perfect, it's like nearly the perfect example or nearly typical example of something or someone. Then we have rarity, and this basically means that thing is very lofty. It doesn't work that well. Then we have superlative, and superlative just basically means something that is best for its class. And then we have apotheosis, which just basically means it's the combination of something to its highest point. Then we have epitome, which just basically means it's the supreme example of something as well too. Then we have exemplar. An exemplar of someone is the rare model. It's like the role model of someone. Then we have ne plus ultra, and ne plus ultra. That just basically means it is the highest embodiment of something or someone. Paragon basically means it's a pattern of perfection. Primacy is like the quality of being the first or something, and zenith here is just like the highest point attained of something or someone. And now we are at the antonyms. I keep forgetting to write the pauses of things. In fact, the last 7 previous ones were actually nouns. Now there basically means something is at rock bottom. Alright, 2 more words, then we can end this off real quick. Yippee-ki-yay! So we have bona fide. Bona fide, it just basically means something is very legitimate. It's legitimate. Okay, it's bona fide, it's legitimate, we can give him it. Alright, so the adjective here, the adjective synonyms are unimpeachable, which basically means you cannot go ahead and kick him out of office, you cannot kick him out of his job, and veritable, which just basically means it's genuine. Alright, then we have a noun. Here we have exemplar, and exemplar basically means it's a role model of someone or something. We have rectitude, which basically means you are at the rightness of something or someone. We have veracity, which basically means you're in the habit of being truthful towards something or someone. Alright, those are all the nouns, and time for the verbs. Here we have vindicate. Now, vindicate basically means you're going ahead, you're proving the opinion. You're proving that your opinion is correct. You're vindicating that it's correct. And now for the antonyms. The antonyms are actually the mind breakers here. The antonyms here are aggrandize, which is basically means you're going ahead and you're trying to exaggerate something or someone. Clandestine, which is basically means you're going ahead, you're pertaining to a secret that as an action it should not even be moderated. Then we have fallacious. Now fallacious basically means based on a fake assumption. It's based on a fake assumption. Then we have fox, which just basically means something is fake. We have inveigle, and inveigle basically means you're going ahead, you're convincing something through trickery. Then we have slander, which just basically means you're going ahead and you're traducing something or someone. Then you have usurper, and this basically means you're going ahead, you're seizing powers through deception. This is what Hamlet's uncle did in the play Hamlet. Then we have our final word, brave. Let's get this started with. So adjectives here is audacious. Now audacious basically means someone is extremely bold and someone is extremely reckless. Then we have dauntless, which basically means that person is fearless. And next up we have intrepid, and this basically means you are resolutely brave towards someone as well too. And then we have valorous, and valorous basically means you are in the fearless situation, fearlessness and bravery of someone as well too. Now for nouns, we have bravado, and bravado basically means going ahead, you're openly showing that you are brave. Then we have sang-froid, which basically means you're going ahead, you're cool-headed in the face of danger or stress. You're cool-headed as well too. Next up, we have antonyms. Now, antonyms here, we have pavid. Now, pavid basically means you are timid and fearful towards someone or something. Pusillanimous just basically means you're going ahead and you're timid by your nature. You're timid, you're scared, you're easily scared by your nature. Then we have recreant, which just basically means going ahead, you're crying for mercy. You're crying for mercy, you're like, please spare me. Then we have tremulous, which basically means you are timid and very, very fearful. And finally, we're trepidation. Trepidation is like the state of fear of someone or something. And since you're in the state of fear of someone or something, well, that just basically means you're not brave at all ever again. And so those are words 26 to 30. And so until next time, people, welcome to Roger Cesar's Words and Writers. I'll see you guys in the next one. Shout out, peace. Bye-bye. I hope you guys actually understood what I was saying. Please subscribe, please like, please share.